Viktor. In Season 2 of Arcane, Viktor continues his journey as a brilliant but tragic scientist. His ultimate goal remains the same: to bring about a utopia where human limitations are overcome through technology using his Hextech creations. However, his moral compass begins to deteriorate as he sacrifices more of his humanity in pursuit of this goal. Viktor is increasingly isolated, both physically and emotionally, especially as his health deteriorates and his relationship with Jayce becomes strained. His experiments grow darker, and his willingness to go to any lengths, including harming others, reveals the dangers of unchecked ambition. Jayce. Jayce represents hope and burden in Season 2, navigating the aftermath of his decisions as Piltover's protector. His resolve to rebuild is tempered by guilt over the chaos caused by Hextech, which he still believes can be a force for good. As a symbol of hope for Piltover, he struggles with the political and personal consequences of his actions in Season 2. And as a champion of progress and innovation, he becomes deeply involved in the power dynamics of the city, torn between his ideals and the political realities that threaten his vision. His relationship with Viktor deteriorates as their differing views on the use of Hextech create a rift. Jayce's moral dilemmas lead him to make tough decisions that will affect both Piltover and Zaun, questioning whether progress is worth the cost of lives and his own conscience. Vi. Vi begins the season in a state of despair and isolation, taking up pit fighting in Zaun as a way to channel her pain. This phase reflects her internal struggle as she copes with the fallout from Season 1, particularly her fractured relationship with Jinx. Accepting powder is gone, Vi comes to terms with what she must do: handle the monster she created, Jinx. Knowing how dangerous her sister is, Vi teams up with Caitlyn and gives in to her request to don the Enforcer badge. Her relationship with Jinx takes center stage once again as the sisters are forced to confront their shared trauma and their diverging paths. When Warwick, revealed to be Vander, is unleashed upon the city, Vi and Jinx team up to face him. This reunion highlights their enduring bond despite their differences. In a deciding moment during the final battle at the Hex Gates, Jinx sacrifices herself to save Vi from Warwick, detonating a grenade that causes the tower to explode. Jinx's fate remains uncertain, leaving Vi grappling with grief and hope. Vi's relationship with Caitlyn also evolves significantly throughout the season. Initially strained by misunderstandings and betrayals, they reconcile by the series' end. In a poignant final scene, they are shown together in an ornate house, symbolizing a hopeful new chapter for both characters. Jinx. Jinx is a deeply tragic and unpredictable character in Season 2, embodying chaos and destruction. She continues to spiral further into madness, driven by the trauma of her past and her obsession with her sister Vi. Her desire to tear down the very structures that once defined her life leads her to become more dangerous, manipulating those around her to achieve her own twisted goals. Jinx's descent into madness is both heartbreaking and terrifying, as she balances her need for destruction with moments of vulnerability. Her actions are unpredictable, making her one of the most volatile characters in the series. At the end of Season 2, Jinx falls down the Piltovan Hexgate alongside Warwick in an effort to blow him up and sacrifice herself so that Vi can live her life. While this would have killed an average character on the show, there are many indicators that confirm that she did in fact survive. Warwick. Warwick's backstory is explored more deeply in Season 2. Vander, now Warwick, has been transformed into a wolf-like beast by Singed. As a former man who lost everything, Warwick becomes a brutal force of nature in Zaun, driven by a desire for revenge against those who betrayed him. Vander retains little of his humanity as he becomes instinctual, bloodthirsty, and animalistic. He is then released and rampages the prison that Jinx and Sevika are inside, freeing Zaunite prisoners that were arrested unlawfully, one of these prisoners being Isha. Warwick continues the spree, killing any guard and prisoner in his way, until finally getting to Jinx, Sevika, Isha, and the enforcers who were preparing to arrest them. The enforcers turn their focus to Warwick, attempting and failing to stop him as Jinx haphazardly prepares her weapons. Jinx would tell Sevika to run and get Isha away as she prepares to fight the beast head-on. Jinx ends up getting pinned to the wall, Warwick ready to tear her apart until pausing. Flashes of powder begin to cloud his eyes as he stares at Jinx, remembering the scared little girl he took in as his own daughter. This seemed to calm the beast, as Warwick's breathing steadied, presumably allowing Jinx to slip away. Ultimately, Warwick's rage culminates in a fatal confrontation with Rictus, one of Ambessa Medarda's loyal followers, marking a tragic end for his character. Caitlyn. Caitlyn is an enforcer from Piltover. She once used her investigative prowess to expose the source of corruption in Zaun and Piltover, but after Jinx's attack on the Council, she's abandoned hope for peace. Her journey becomes more complex as she navigates the corrupt political landscape of Piltover and the growing unrest in Zaun. Caitlyn's partnership with Vi deepens, though it's clear she is not just a sidekick, but a character with her own goals. She strives to uphold justice, but as the story unfolds, Caitlyn is forced to confront the difficult realities of enforcing the law in a city teetering on the brink of collapse. Her dedication to uncovering the truth often brings her into direct conflict with those in power. In the final battle, Caitlyn plays a pivotal role in defending Piltover against Ambessa and Noxian forces. Despite suffering significant injuries, including losing an eye during a duel with Ambessa, Caitlyn demonstrates courage and resilience. She ultimately rejects Ambessa's influence and recommits herself to protecting Piltover without compromising her integrity. Ekko. Ekko is one of the most grounded and empathetic characters in Season 2. He leads the Firelights, a group of rebels seeking to protect the people of Zaun from the corrupting influence of both Piltover and the criminal underworld. Ekko's sense of justice and his bond with his friends, particularly his loyalty to Zaun's people, remain central to his motivations. He takes a stand against Silco's reign and works to protect Zaun's innocent citizens. Ekko's growth as a leader and his attempts to bridge the gap between Zaun and Piltover provide hope for a better future in a divided world. Ambessa Medarda. Ambessa Medarda is a key figure in the political and military spheres of Piltover, revealed as a ruthless and calculating matriarch. Her influence over her daughter Mel is profound, pushing Mel to make decisions that secure the Medarda family's power. Ambessa is willing to use war and violence to achieve her goals, and her unyielding attitude makes her a formidable force in Season 2. She acts as a direct threat to both Zaun and Piltover, and her allegiance with Silco poses an even greater danger. Ultimately, Ambessa is unrelenting in her pursuit of control, and she is not afraid to sacrifice anything or anyone to secure her dominance. Mel Medarda. Mel continues her role as a powerful politician in Piltover, with her ambitions growing stronger in Season 2. She is pragmatic and manipulative, willing to make difficult decisions to secure her family's influence and Piltover's prosperity. However, Mel's underlying vulnerability comes to the forefront as her family's legacy weighs heavily on her. As the political tensions increase between Piltover and Zaun, Mel must navigate her personal and professional relationships, making alliances with unlikely characters in order to retain her power. Her role in the conflict highlights the moral compromises she must make in the pursuit of her goals. Sevika. Sevika is a fierce enforcer in the service of Silco. In Season 2, her loyalty to him is unwavering, even as the stakes grow higher and the consequences of their actions become more apparent. She is a ruthless and efficient fighter, often executing Silco's will without hesitation. However, as the conflict escalates, Sevika's role becomes more complex, as she faces moral dilemmas that challenge her unflinching loyalty. Despite this, her desire for power and control over Zaun's criminal world keeps her firmly on Silco's side. Sevika's cold pragmatism makes her a dangerous and calculating force in the ongoing war for Zaun. Silco. Although Silco is dead in Season 2, his presence lingers through Jinx's fractured mind. He appears as a haunting voice in her head, representing both her deepest fears and her need for validation. Silco's influence over Jinx remains powerful as she continues to grapple with his twisted teachings about power and loyalty. These inner conversations reveal Jinx's internal struggle to define herself without Silco's guidance, while his specter often drives her toward more destructive and chaotic actions. Silco's ghostly role in Jinx's psyche adds depth to her descent into madness. Heimerdinger. Heimerdinger plays the role of a cautious and wise mentor in Season 2, continuing to warn against the dangers of unchecked scientific progress. His reluctance to embrace the more radical aspects of hextech research often puts him at odds with other characters like Jayce and Viktor. While his intentions are rooted in caution and responsibility, Heimerdinger's reluctance to embrace change often makes him appear outdated and ineffective in the face of rapid advancements. Still, he remains a key figure in the battle for the future of Piltover, trying to navigate a path between preserving the past and embracing the future. Singed. Singed remains a shadowy figure, deeply entrenched in the science and corruption of Zaun. As an alchemist, his experiments push ethical boundaries, and he becomes an increasingly dangerous figure as his ambitions grow. In Season 2, Singed plays a key role in developing some of the darker technologies that fuel the conflict. His motivations are unclear as he walks a fine line between scientific curiosity and moral corruption. His actions lead to catastrophic consequences, and he becomes a key antagonist as his experiments endanger both Zaun and Piltover. Rictus. Rictus serves as a loyal subordinate to Ambessa Medarda, his primary role being to enforce her will with brutal efficiency. He is a cold, calculating character with little regard for the lives of those around him. In Season 2, his loyalty is tested as he confronts the chaotic and brutal nature of his work. His ultimate fate comes when Warwick, in his fury, takes revenge on those who have wronged him. Rictus's death marks a significant turning point in the ongoing struggle between Zaun's rebellion and Piltover's oppressive regime. Scar. Scar is a close ally of Ekko and a member of the Firelights. He represents the idealistic side of Zaun's rebellion, fighting to protect the people of Zaun from both Silco's tyranny and the corrupt forces of Piltover. His dedication to his friends and the cause is unwavering, and he becomes one of Ekko's most trusted allies. Scar is known for his compassion and sense of justice, always putting others' well-being above his own. His loyalty to Ekko and his fight for Zaun's freedom make him one of the most honorable characters in the series. Black Rose, LeBlanc. LeBlanc, known as the Black Rose, emerges as a shadowy and manipulative force in Season 2. Her primary goal is to annihilate the Medarda family, continuing a vendetta that has already claimed Mel's brother, Ambessa's son. The tension between LeBlanc and Ambessa escalates as she employs cunning schemes and dark magic to dismantle their power. Her motivations remain shrouded in mystery, but her hatred for the Medarda lineage drives her relentless pursuit. In a climactic showdown, Mel reveals her hidden magical prowess, defeating LeBlanc and ending the Black Rose's threat once and for all, solidifying her position as a powerful force in her own right. Isha. Isha is a young girl whom Jinx saved from a dire situation early in Season 2, taking her in and forming an unexpected bond with her. Despite Jinx's chaotic nature, she becomes fiercely protective of Isha, showing a rare and deeply emotional side of herself. Isha, in turn, grows to care for Jinx, seeing beyond her madness and recognizing her vulnerability. Tragically, Isha sacrifices herself in the final confrontation to take down Warwick, an act that leaves Jinx devastated. Her death becomes a pivotal moment for Jinx, amplifying her grief and further unraveling her fragile psyche. Maddie Nolen. In Season 2, Maddie Nolen is revealed to be a Noxian spy working secretly for Ambessa Medarda. Under the guise of an ally, she had been monitoring Caitlyn and feeding information back to Ambessa. Her betrayal shakes Caitlyn to her core, as Maddie's loyalty to Noxus proves unyielding. Maddie's actions are driven by her dedication to the Medarda family and Noxus's ambitions, making her a key player in Ambessa's schemes. Her double life highlights the intricate web of political espionage that fuels the growing conflict between Piltover and Noxus. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for these handsome guys. And don't be bored. Have a nice viewing of Arcane.